Wendy Soucie, and I'm here at Local Motors, and I am here with...
I'm here, Nico DePere with Local Motors.
Alright, and Nico, we're standing in front of the car that we've been talking about today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So this is a rally fighter. What you see is a rally fighter after about 3 weeks of a build process. This is an actual customer's rally fighter, so they have come in and done their 2 weeks of building. And their rally fighter, they have it set up for the desert off-road setup, which means that the suspension has full 18 inches of travel in the front, 20 inches of travel in the rear. You can customize every rally fighter to your liking. They have, one of the features is a manually adjustable ride height, so you can pop this pin out over here and bring the shock up to here and lower the car down 6 inches and turn it into a street vehicle that you can use as an everyday commuter. The CEO of Local Motors, Jay Rogers, he drives his in low ride height as an everyday commuter, but we also have another company car that is set up in high ride height to take out in the desert.
Pretty simply between standard and metric, and they teach you what the difference is between a 1/4 inch drive and a 3/8 inch drive and a 1/2 inch drive and what you use them for. And then the neat feature of it is, when we were looking for tools, the folks that made toolboxes were sending us all kinds of examples of toolboxes, and the single feature that they all had was they all had drawers. And we didn't want any drawers, because when you ask the customer to grab a wrench, they don't want to have to use their brain to read and know that reading, that's a screwdriver, and therefore it's this long thing with a metal pointed plastic handle. You just want them to look for the long thing with the metal pointed plastic handle. So we developed, using these alligator boards, a system that sort of tiers as it goes up. And then the really cool thing that Mike and his team developed on the back are these little blue bins. This is the definition of what a microfactory is good for. So these little blue bins are the younger children of the black bins that are sitting over there. And when we get a bulk order of fasteners in, which is code for screws, or bolts, or nuts, they all come in those black bins. You do not want a customer walking back and forth the factory. That's what you do in your garage. And you take a stop motion video of that, it's a miserable thing to watch. Your feet hurt at the end of the day. And so what Mike and his team, Buddy and Mike, do before build starts is they'll go over and they'll take each step in the wiki and they'll put the pieces that are going to happen in that step in each individual bin. And so what that means is this thing's sitting right here on wheels, so the customer can go to it and grab. So if there's a 1/4 that's here, 1/4 screw, which defines 1/4 defines how many turns are in a 1/4 inch on the screw. So 1/4 by 3/4, and it might be used here, and it might be used here, and it might be used here. You're going to put those 1/4, 3/4 in each one of those bins. So you don't ask the customer to think that hard. There's certain things they don't need to know when they're building, and that's part of our process to make it easier for them to build. So,
can you ever imagine offering a build experience to people who don't want to actually own and take them apart?
Yeah, so there's some people that have actually solicited out of us and said, look, I don't want to rally fight, but I really want to build one. So if anybody needs a build buddy, sign me up. And that's a really important thing, because there are a lot of people who are afraid to bring people they know because they don't want to show that they don't know how to build a car, and so they'll show up without anybody. And they'll realize very quickly that it's just a time to meet people and have a great time. Of course, there are visual checks. You have your buddy, you have you, and you have your builder trainer, and then you have a lot of people that are coming through this factory and looking over these vehicles, but not touching them. It's the builder trainer's vehicle and the team's vehicle to do. So, and then there are a number of functional checks that are done. So before that body goes on, the vehicle's driven. And it's driven, it's turned on before it's driven. And then it's cycled with its electronics before it's turned on. And so those are all steps that are in the wiki that we've learned, partially through hard work. Put everything on, you charge the air conditioner and there's a leak. It's a lot harder to diagnose where the leak is. And so we do that early on. And it's proved to be very valuable for us. And we learned those through mistakes. The prototype 1, the alpha version of rally fighters, had no interior. Use immediately, because there's nothing like speeding the process development. We can prototype something on here.